I'm Justin. We are Justin and Phil, and the one
Phil.
with the
Pooja.
off is
Hello,
Pooja.
everybody.
Welcome to our webinar. Today, our topic is email designer. All right, so today will be broken down into 7 main topics. We're going to start off with some small fun facts, and then we're going to talk about templates, then styling, and then Phil will talk about subject body with variables. And we're going to have one more thing that you guys need to keep in mind of, and then we're going to do the quiz and giveaway with some Q&A at the end. That will be our general breakdown today. So first, we actually introduced Document Designer first on May 7, 2024 this year, and shortly after we introduced Email Designer. If you guys designed your own document before, you guys will have a similar taste of what the email designer will look like. They share a lot of the same elements, but also something different. And I also want to thank you here, say thanks to all the feedbacks, because this email designer came to life because of your feedback. So continue giving us feedbacks, and our product team will keep on developing newer features for inFlow, and this is one of them. So before we
kind of just sorry to cut you off there, Justin. So you can send us feedback at any point at support@inflowinventory.com. You can email it to us, and that way, as Justin said, we kind of record it all. We share it. We have an actual spot that we share it with everybody on the team. So even the head, like CEOs and stuff like that, get to see it, and helps shape kind of the way that we plan going forward. So super valuable.
Yeah, so before other customers have voiced out, maybe it was one of you, they said, currently I go to email and copy and paste from the sales order on inFlow. Another person said, we would like this to be able to advise our customers of the change in process personnel, and if they have any questions, to reach out to our management team without having to copy and paste and script into the subject line and body each time. So before this email designer, customers always, like you and us, always have to copy and paste a whole bunch of contacts onto an email, and we just don't want that to happen anymore. And so we developed email designer with a lot of templates. So templates, we have various types of templates. There's sales templates, there's purchase, stock, manufacturing, customer, vendor. And as you see in the GIF beside, there are different documents within each of these types. For example, sales, you would have one for sales quote, receipt, pick list, packing slip, invoice, credit note, etc. But keep in mind, there's only one email template per document that you can design. And for styling, there are 2 types. We'll begin with default styling. In the default styling, you can set it so that it will display a certain image, a header image. You can change the size of this image change the size of this image, and also choose your own button color. I'll show you in a bit that the button color, you can actually customize it. So if the 6 right there is not what you want, let's say a brown color or a neon green, for example, my favorite color, then you can choose the plus sign and customize to the exact color that you want. And important thing to note, that the default styling will apply to the whole account, meaning all users of the account will see the exact same default styling unless someone updates it, but it applies to the whole account. Styling per document. So for each document, like a sales quote, you can still use the default styling or customize the styling. Furthermore, you can actually change the button text as well. So by default, let's say it will say view sales quote. You can customize this and change the text to open quote or go to link. If you don't like the default styling, then you could also click on custom styling, and then you can choose a different header image, a different image size, or even different button color. Let me just give you a quick demo of what I mean so far. Everybody can see my screen, I think. Okay. Whoops. Yep. Here. So in your account, you can go to order options and click on email designer. This is where you see all the On the left, you will see all your template types. So there are different template types like sales, purchase, stock, manufacturing, customer, and vendor. Under sales types, you can choose the different document that you do want to edit. Again, it's only one template per document. And let's look at default styling first, which is at the bottom left here. You click and you get to choose your own header image, the image size, or button color. Let's say I don't want the cat. I actually want something more sophisticated. This was here before. I can click the garbage can and
by default, what image does it use on there?
By default, it doesn't use any image. Let me just reset this real quick and then save and close and show you again. So this by default, this is what, sorry, mistake. The default image is the one that I have for my company. Because I have this cat for my company, it shows the cat. But let's say on my emails, I don't want to use the cat image. I want to upload something else. You can upload your own file. Let's say I want this purple one because I like purple. I could change it to a purple button, or I can change this purple to be more neon, for example, and save it like that. Again, this save will apply to anybody else using my account, not just me, anybody else. But for a sales quote document, I can edit this template, and by default, it will use open. Sorry, this is not. Okay. So I can edit this. By default, it is view sales quote, but I can change this to open link, for example, or open sales quote. Sorry for my loud typing noise. But you can also change the custom styling. So instead of a cat, I want this to be not the purple one, but the green icon. And only for sales quotes, I want a greener button. This I can choose. Save. And then the next time I do a sales quote, so let's check again, sorry. So the button will say open sales quote, and it's a green icon instead of the cat, and I have the button as neon green, if that's what I like. When I send the email, I'll just show you real quick. Wait, sorry, that was a sales quote. So I actually want to make a sales quote. And when I email this out, save it first. Here, you'll see the button in the color that I customized and the icon that I customized too. Okay.
Awesome.
Back to the slide.
I love the lime green, bright eye hurting color there.
Right.
Really makes somebody want to click on it.
So now I have Phil start to present the next part for you.
Sure. Let me just share the slides. 1 sec. Awesome. So we already went over kind of some of the basic customization, which is awesome. So how you can kind of change the color and the look and everything. But the kind of meat and potatoes of the email templates is the actual subject line and the body, which you can customize with something called variables. So kind of quickly just showing here, each template has the 3 main elements that you can customize again. So you've got the subject, which is your subject line. So that's the first thing that people are going to see on your email when it comes through to them. You've got the body, which is the actual text of the email itself. And then as Justin was showing you, that you've got the call to action button. So this is the button they can click on, and it'll actually open that document that you've emailed them. Now, variables are how we use, or how you can change the subject or the body itself to personalize your emails. On the left here, I've got kind of like a default one. We just say, "Hi, here's your sales order," and it's just putting in the sales order number. But you can make it something a lot more inviting by putting like, "Hi," the person's name. So Clark Kent, here's your sales order. The balance is due, and then pulling the due date from the order itself. Thanks and have a great day. And then you can actually customize again and have it actually sign off with like your employees' names or your company or your website or different things like that. So again, making this a lot more personalized and making it so that you hopefully don't have to copy and paste or again kind of like change those emails every single time that you're going to do it because you're probably going to be doing that multiple times a day. So what are variables? These are just very simple placeholders that get replaced with live information when you generate an email to actually send. So the variables in all of our templates are enclosed in what we call curly braces here. So you'll see two on the left and two on the right. They always have specific keywords and punctuation that you should not change. So removing things like brackets, underscores, or periods will stop them or cause them to stop working. So you'll want to leave them in kind of the formatting that they come in as itself. They can be used in both the subject line and the body of your email templates. So you can, again, personalize each spot very, very easily. On both areas, there's this little plus button that you can push, and that'll actually open up a little window that shows you all the variables that you can add to the template. It gives you a nice little search window or search box too that you can type in. So if you're looking for like a name or something like that, if you start typing name, it'll find all the variables that have name in it. And then something just important to note that there are specific variables available for each document type. So like a sales order will have access to like your customer information, whereas a purchase order will have access to things like your vendor information from that purchase order. So these variables will change with each document type. Again, like your stock transfers and stuff will have like your stock transfer custom fields and stuff. So just keep that in mind that you won't want to like copy and paste and put it on every single thing. You will have to customize each one. Now, another really cool thing is that you can actually customize the variables even more by adding what we call modifiers inside the bracket. These are a few examples of different things that you can do. And again, you may not need to or want to do these for a lot of things, but just a few examples, like if you put this the line symbol and then uppercase, it'll actually make everything uppercase in that. So this person's name, Joseph Buckley, is all uppercase. You can append things to it, so you can add some text to the end of it by using append. You can capitalize, which will make each word in the variable capitalized. You can do the opposite of uppercase and have everything lowercase by using downcase. You can truncate. So if you know something like an address is always going to be really long and you don't need it to be there every single time, you can put on truncate. Here I've got 6, so it'll actually do 3 characters, and then if it's longer than 3 characters, it'll put 3 dots, and those 3 dots do count as part of the number kind of thing. So you would just change that number to however many. So if you want it to usually show like the first like 10 characters or something like that, then you could change that to 10. And then probably the one that you would use the most is dates. So dates can be formatted in a lot of different ways. The default date display, so like if we're just doing um, just a normal date, is going to show as like the month, day, year, and then it'll have like a timestamp behind it as well. So a lot of cases you probably don't want to show that timestamp. So again, you can use the little bar modifier and then put in date, and then in quotes you can put in different formatting options. So they're all kind of short forms. So like capital M's is for month, lowercase d is for day, and then the Y's are for year. And then it'll follow the style that you put. So like if you put spaces in between, it'll have the spaces or like slashes or dashes or anything like that. So that way you can again easily customize that. Another great thing about the new email templates is that it will actually work with sending emails in bulk as well. So, bulk features like things like updating sales orders and being able to email them and stuff like that is something that we added not too long ago, and the templates will actually work with those as well. So you'll actually see that right at the top when you are doing a bulk thing, and I'll show it in a quick demo very soon, but that will say variables in your subject line or message will adapt to each email. So that means that it will pull the specific information from every single different sales order to replace it with either like the person's name, or again like the sales order number, or any like those due dates or stuff like that, and that will change in both the subject line and the body of all emails. You will still get to see the preview of the first email so that you know what you're sending to these customers. And you'll also still see all the different email addresses that it is sending to. So if you needed to manually change one or add an extra CC or something like that, you can. But it's fantastic that it actually does work with the bulk feature as well. So we can just show right here. So as Justin was showing, to get to the email designer, you go into your options under orders, and then you've got email designer in there. Again, you've got all your different types that you can do here. So like your sales orders, your purchase orders, everything like that. If I want to customize, say like my sales order, that's one of the ones that I send out the most. You click on it, and then here's where you're going to see. So you've got your subjects. I'll just see if zooming in a little bit might make it easier. There we go. So we've got the subject. Actually, I guess if I look at one of these other ones that I haven't customized, this is what it would look like normally. So sales quote, and then you'll see it already has a variable. So this is using the curly braces like I was talking about in the slide. And it's SO for like sales order number. Now this is there by default. You didn't have to enter it. It will always be there kind of thing. But if you don't want it to say that, you just want it to say sales quote in the email, you could do that. But to customize it, all you do is you click that little plus button, and it's going to pull up all the variables. So again, here you can kind of see we've tried to make them very human readable so you can understand what they are. So like we've got due dates, date paid. Again, the order number is the one that I just took off. So if I wanted to put that back, I can click on it. It will put the variable wherever your cursor was last. So if I needed something before this, I could enter in some stuff, put my cursor there, and let's just say like, let's put the invoice date or something like that. So it's going to show the invoice date as well as the order number on there. Again, by default, we don't actually have like the customer's name or anything like that. So if we wanted to personalize it and make it easier, I could go add a variable, type in name, and I'm going to see all the different options with names in there. Now, uh, anyone who's used inFlow, you'll probably know you've got both a customer name and a contact name. So this is where you would want to decide based off of how you run your business, kind of where you're putting that. I know some people use like a number as like the customer name, and then the person's actual name in like the contact field or whatever. So you can get either the full name, so like the full customer name, or you can actually even do just like the first name. So in this, we might want to say customer first name, here's your sales quote. Thanks so much for shopping with us. And then again, to make this more personalized right now, every single employee, every team member, anything like that that's in here, when they send the email, it's going to use this template. So what we can do to make this a little more personalized, again, if I put a name, I can find, sorry, I have to zoom out because it's just a little too low. But we've got sender name, sender first name, and sender last name. So these ones you can see are all under this company kind of separation here. So this is actually going to be talking about my company details. So if I put sender first name, for instance, this is actually going to then use my team member's first name who's sending the email. So in my case, it'll say Phil. So we could just say like, regards, Phil, and then we can save that. And I'll just open up I don't know if I have, oops, a quote. So we'll just make one to Bruce Wayne here. He wants to get a new Batarang, and we will save that. And we want to email him, so we'll see the option on there for the sales quote. So here we can see it's already filled in my email address. We've got the sales quote heading on there. I don't have a due date, so any variable that you put that doesn't have a value will just show up blank in there. So again, in here, it's just showing 2 dashes because I didn't have like a due date or anything on there. But then we've got the sales quote. We're saying, hi, Bruce. So again, that was customized. Thanks so much for shopping with us. And then it pulled in my name itself. Again, like Justin showed, you could customize like the color of the button, the image and stuff like that too. But those are all just different options that you can do in any of like the custom stylings or default stylings and everything like that. And so yeah, the other cool thing then, so if we're doing like bulk options, so here I'm on my sales order list. If I select a few of these and I want to send all of these out at once, I can click email right on here. We can choose sales order because that's one that I've customized before. And so again, it's saying variables in the subject line will adapt to each email. This is my customized subject line. So again, it's showing me a preview of the first one. So it's showing Clark was the first one. And that's going to say, hi, Clark Kent, here's your sales order. The balance is due on whichever date and this. And then, so if I scroll down, I'll actually be able to see then that it's sending 3 different emails. And again, here you could change who you're sending it to if you need to. But all of these will then be personalized just like how it's previewing here, just with the specific information from each order. Okay. Awesome. So now there is just one more thing that we did kind of want to mention about this. I don't know if anyone wants to say in the chat or anything, but if we have any Windows program users, of course, we're showing all this in our beautiful web app, which is where we're kind of building and making all of our new features and everything. But if you are using the Windows program, you'll actually see an update option when you go to either print or email. So there are a few things that you do need to know if you are going to be going this route kind of thing, that if you do update, custom documents that you have in the desktop program will not carry over. You'll be using the new document designer that we've built, which is right next to the email designer. So this is where you can customize all your different sales and purchase order documents. Emails will then now actually email out a link to the document, which will open up in a web browser instead of it being attached as like a PDF. And that all emails will now come from like an inFlow email address saying that it's like care of, or you can still enter like who you want it to show as, but it'll say that it's coming from inFlow. And that this is a one-way change and it's not reversible. Excuse me. So I can just kind of show you in here in the program. So if I'm on a sales order or anything like that, and I do hit email, this is the message that you'll see in here. So it is saying that there's an option to update the inFlow documents, and you would have to actually click on this get the latest, and then choose update if you want to get access to these new features. Otherwise, if I do go email and I just pick like a sales order or something like that, and I click email, this is using the old version. So this stuff is not customizable. So it's not going to use the templates that I've built or created there. These were not customizable inside the desktop application, unfortunately. And so going forward, if you do want to use those features, you will have to choose the update option. Just again, keep in mind kind of those kind of differences that are there. I do know I saw somebody mention in the chats that they couldn't use the newer settings because they need it to be emailed as a PDF. That is something that we have brought up to the team numerous times and is something that they are considering, seeing if we can actually add to the web app to make it so that you can email and attach it as a PDF instead of sending it as a link, because we have got a lot of feedback. So again, if you haven't reached out to us about it already, squeaky wheel gets the oil. The more people that do kind of like let us know, and that we can kind of keep telling them, hey, this is what people want, definitely send us in a quick email at support@inflowinventory.com. Let us know that you want to use the templates, but that they need to be like a PDF or something like that, and we can let our team know, and that'll hopefully get the ball rolling a little faster on an extra feature like that.
But yeah, any other things, let us know. Email us if you weren't able to chat here. We're going to be ending now. Thank you for all the feedbacks and comments.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, take care.